Hi, welcome back. We are continuing our our programs in the book Starting Out with Java, and the program we are working on today is called Hotel Occupancy. It is in the chapter 5, the book Starting Out with Java, and we are asked to solve these 4 questions. The first question is to answer is the number of rooms the hotel has. The second question is the number that are occupied, and the third question is the number that are vacant, and the last question, which is the fourth one, is the occupancy rate for the hotel. So they want us to do is to ask the user to enter how many floors the hotel has, and based on that, we want to ask the user how many rooms each floor has, and then we want to ask how many of these rooms are occupied, and then after the loop ends, we want to calculate the occupancy rate and how many of them are vacant. So it is not that difficult if you understand how to use for loops or while loops. So also the program requires us to validate the number of floors. So you are not allowed to enter a negative number or a 0. So they say do not accept a number less than 1 for the number of floors the hotel has. And also we are not allowed to accept a number less than 10 for the number of rooms each floor has. So first we create a scanner class for the keyboard. Then we ask the user enter how many floors the hotel has. Then we store floors in this variable. After that, we have to validate it with while loop. While floors are less than 1, we want to ask the user the correct number. Error, enter how many floors. Then we have to store the input to the floors variable. After the user enters a correct number for the number of floors the hotel has, we want to create variables to store the answer of these questions. The first one is the number of rooms. So we say number of rooms. Initially it would be 0, and the second one would be the number of occupied 0, and the third question is how many are vacant 0, and last is occupancy rate. After we create the variables for our answers, we want to start the for loop. Int I 1, I is less than or equal to is less than or equal to floors. Each time the loop runs, we want to increment by 1. After that, we have to ask the user how many rooms in each floor. Then we have to increment the number of rooms. We have to add whatever the user enters. After that, we have to ask the user how many of them are occupied. Then occupied, we have to increment them. After we finish this, we have to calculate. We have to answer the third and fourth question. The fourth question, which are the third question, is the number that are vacant. So the way we find the vacancy is to vacant is equal to number of rooms minus occupied, the one that's occupied. We subtract the number of rooms from the occupied ones, right? If there are 10 rooms and 8 of them are occupied, then 2 are vacant, right? So that's the third question. The fourth is the occupancy rate for the hotel. The formula they gave us is here. It says occupancy is equal number of rooms occupied divided by total number of rooms. Number of rooms occupied divided by the total. So we would create a fake occupancy rate equals we have to create. We have to make this a double because maybe there would be a decimal point or something. We have to change. This to double because sometimes the result may produce some decimal points. So you say occupancy rate equals. We have to cast it with double. Occupied divided by number of rooms. So we answered the vacancy, we answered the occupancy rate, we answered the number of rooms, how many of them are occupied. So we answered all 4 questions. So now we have to print it. Number of rooms, also number of rooms occupied, and then vacant, and lastly we want to display occupancy rate. So let's look at the results. Enter how many floors the hotel has. Let's say the hotel has only one floor. How many rooms in the first floor? Let's say it has 12. How many of them are occupied? Let's say 9. Okay, the results are number of rooms are 12, occupied 9, vacant is 3, occupancy is 75. But is it correct? 75%, 9 is 75% of 12, and vacancy is 3 because 9 minus 12 is 3, so it's correct. But I forgot something. When we add the first floor here, how many rooms? The program should catch any number that is less than 10. But now in our program there is no functionality for that. So for example, I can enter 8 and there is no way the program would catch. So we have to fix it, and the way we can fix it is here inside the loop. When the user enters number of rooms, we have to create a while loop. Say number of rooms is less than 10. We have to say error, enter number of rooms, right? Remove the new line. Number of rooms equals. So now it should catch any number that is less than 10 for the number of rooms. Enter how many floors the hotel has. So the hotel has only one. How many rooms in one? Let's say 7. Error. Yeah, it catches 12. How many of them are occupied? 9. The program shows the correct answer, but we want to display it in a table, and also we have to make this the occupancy rate percentage instead of 0.75. So the way we can display it in a more readable fashion is to create a format, string format. We would create percent, maybe 3 spaces for the first item, then percent 20%, 20, so that would be 3, and new line. So this would be system.out.printf format, number of rooms, then occupied, then vacant. There is also another occupancy rate. Number vacant. You have to add here another one for the occupancy rate. So after that, we have to delete this. Say print f format number of rooms occupied vacant occupancy rate. Also, we have to format the percentage so that it will read the number and the percentage. So we would say number format get percent, then nf get minimum digits. We would say just one. What is the problem? Let's say nf get minimum. What's the issue? Expected 0. Get no, I don't want fractions. Or not get. Sorry guys, it is set minimum, then just one. Now it should work. Instead of occupancy rate, you will say nf format. Then it should look beautiful now. But before we print it, we want to add a space between the results and the calculation. Let's say how many floors the hotel has. Let's say it has 2 floors. The first floor has 12 and 9 of them are occupied. The second has 48 and 40 of them are occupied. So the number of rooms are 60 because 48 plus 12 is 60, that's correct. Occupied is 49 because 40 and plus 9 is 49, that's correct. Vacant is 11 because 60 minus 49 is 11, that's correct. And occupancy rate is 82% because 49 divided 49 is 82% of 60, right? I think so. It's 49 is 82% of 60. If my math is not wrong. So guys, I think we answered all the 4 questions, all the questions. The number of rooms, how many of them are occupied, how many of them are vacant, and occupancy rate. And And this program, it is not that difficult if you know how to do loops, especially for loops and while loops. And I will I will post it. I will post the results in the description. So if you have any questions, or if you want to correct something I did wrong, please let me know, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.